Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. Welcome back to the show, Larry.
Oh, it's good to be here, Jim.
Larry, your firm loves to crank out the news releases because they're so interesting and a lot of things are happening at American Manganese. What's in the latest?
Well, the news release was about the webinar that was put on by the Department of Energy and one of their labs, Critical Materials Institute. And that webinar was handled by our CTO, Zarko, and he did an excellent job of doing so. As a matter of fact, CMI phoned us back and said that was the best turnout they'd ever had, and the most questions they ever had. So that was a feather in Zarko's cap. So, and a feather in Amy's cap. But that went over very well. We got some good responses off of that. And today I've got a few different topics I want to talk about. First thing is out of the chute is no, we haven't got the results yet from Cometco. So there's no news release this week, and but we did get notification from the Save Canadian Mining Group, and there was an interview with Eric Sprott in there, and Eric is a member of Save Canadian Mining, and he was very passionate about this shorting that's going on. So, that is starting to get heard of. As a matter of fact, another attachment that I have there is on an environmental company that got slammed yesterday on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and due to a Predator report that maligned them and maligned their technology and everything else they had going for them. So, but what I liked about it was that 4 different analysts, starting with Goldman Sachs, came out in support of the company and said that all that stuff was, vicious, and most of it were lies. So that's always, that's another interesting thing that just shows you what goes on in the Canadian market. That these guys can come in and raid companies, take wealth away from investors, and with impunity, and that's got to stop. It can't keep going on. Now, another thing that we hear a lot about is the company that J.V. Strobel started up. He's a CTO of Tesla, and he has started a company called Redwood Materials that recently relocated to Nevada, and there's a lot of speculation going on about his tie-in with Tesla. So he's saying there's no tie-in financially or anything else with Tesla. So, but they published a employment section where they're looking for a lot of people, and my guess is that they're probably going to have an IPO on the NASDAQ exchange, and I would estimate it probably be a $10 one, similar to Tesla's original IPO. And that's, everybody looks, oh, geez, what have they got that we don't have, or whatever. But it doesn't matter. There's a lot of batteries out there, and there's going to be competition all the way through. But what I find very interesting about this is if I'm right, and Redwood Materials does go public on the NASDAQ exchange at a good priced IPO, that will put the focus on recycling. Because we're the only company out there that really talks a lot about recycling. So I always like to say we show our powder. And, we've never taken a backward step. Sometimes we have to do more R&D. Sometimes we have to replace parts. But there's not a backward step in that. It's, the process is solid. And, I think that the spin-off from, Redwood, taken over the leadership of recycling. Doesn't mean that we won't have any batteries to recycle. It just means that all of a sudden it'll crystallize the audience for recycling companies. And we'll be up there around the top of the list when it comes to that, and I think we'll have reaped good benefits from it. I've seen this happen in molybdenum. I've seen it happen in, we're seeing it happening in gold right now. I mean, gold companies are screaming through the roof. But the fact of the matter is, you got to have an anchor company out there that is going to be doing big things, making big releases, and that focuses the attention on the other recyclers out there. As all I can tell everybody is, look, we have a process. It's solid. We put our results out. It's transparent, and we're talking to a lot of the people that are very interested in recycling, except they're not interested in putting money up at this point. But that's going to change very rapidly. And, so I'm excited. Redwood Materials, if it goes public on the U.S. exchange, that is a big plus for the AMI shareholders as well as the Redwood Materials shareholders. So
right.
I'm really looking forward to that. The other things that I'd like to talk about are the big banks, like Scotia and that are getting plus $100 million fines for manipulating metals. And that goes back to the predator trading. There's been at least 2 in the last couple of weeks. And, this manipulation of markets has got to stop, because it's killing incentives, it's killing investors, it's killing everything. And wait till they get around to gold. These are base metal metals that they were actually manipulating, and so they received these $100 million fines. Probably made 30 or 40 billion on it, and but they have to give something back. And what I'd like to point out on that is that if you look at the volume that's traded in Canada, and then you look at the volume that's traded on the OTC market in the U.S., they're very close. And that means that predators are having difficulty, protecting their positions in the short positions, because they're arbitraging between the two. And as far as I can see, with the exchange rate in the Canadian dollar and the U.S. dollar, that their arbitrage is either breaking even or losing money. But it's so far it's serving the purpose of protecting the predator investors, predator traders, in manipulating stocks. And it's not just our stocks. I mean, you look at even the gold stocks are getting hammered at certain points, like Tudor got hammered down recently on their big discoveries and drill program that was going up in the SK area. So it's not just junior stocks like American Manganese. It's stocks that right across the board, these guys have a plan. Plan is to make money out of shorting, not investing, and it's not doing anybody any good except them, where they personally put the money in their pockets. And I'm probably parroting Eric Sprott on that. But, it's interesting to watch the markets, but when you're involved in it every day trying to advance the company, these are hurdles that you have to get through. So, I think I've made some attachments on here that speak to what I've talked about. And so I would wish everybody a great weekend. Hope it's not all wet like it is right now. But have a great weekend, everybody.
Larry, for people who are new to the company, where can they get more information, and where are you traded?
American Manganese is a critical metals company that, by the way, is spinning out its gold assets into a new pubco to the shareholders at no cost to the shareholders. And That'll be on some kind of a ratio that will be determined by others rather than myself. But we know what we want to get out of that. And we've taken the technology that was in American Manganese on manganese recoveries, and we've turned that into a cathode material converter of base metals back into new batteries. And but that's a brief history. You can find out anything you want. Go to AmericanManganeseInc.com, or you can phone the office here at 778-574-4444. You can email me at LREAUGH@AMYMN.com, and contact the company directly. Our website is AmericanManganeseInc.com, where you'll find everything you need to do due diligence on our process and the company.
Larry, thank you so much for the update.
You're welcome.
We've been speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. I'm Jim Goddard. Our conversation took place on August 21st.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.